Good, bright, and beautiful Sunday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith on this beautiful Sunday, the 21st of March, 2021. Of course, today is the official first full day of spring. Spring arrived with the vernal equinox in the eastern United States yesterday morning on Saturday, the 20th at 5:37 a.m. And it's a glorious morning out there, and we'll get to that in just a moment. A lot of people on bicycles, walking their dogs, exercising, and I even saw people on their motorcycles early this morning after 8 o'clock going outside. And in New Jersey, from Rutgers University, our latest weather extremes here in terms of temperatures at 8:25 this morning. Parsippany's at 46, high point 44. The low points here in West Creek, New Jersey at 30. Charlottesburg at 29, 28 at Pequest, and of course the normalest, coldest spot here in northwestern New Jersey in the valley in Walpack at 24 this morning. Other observations, we'll pull this up right now. These are the current temperatures right now. I do believe this is true. Yes, it is. And temperatures are running anywhere from the 20s over the interior here in the valleys here in Sussex County, like Sandyston and Sussex, and also here in Walpack. And other temperatures are generally running in the 30s and 40s. And the minimum temperatures this morning, if we can pull this up, well, there's our cold spots here. Walpack got down to 18 degrees here in Sussex County in the valley this morning. Let's see, this is Sandyston at 21. Their temperatures drop down under clear skies into the 20s here. Even Toms River and Berkeley Township got into the 20s and 30s right along the coast. Here's another low at Oswego Lake this morning at 23 for a minimum. Also 23 degrees in Vineland, and temperatures in southwestern New Jersey, upper Deerfield 26, and Greenwich here, or Greenwich at 26 this morning for minimums. Well, high pressure is in control, so we don't have much of a wind here. It's less than 5 or 10 miles an hour, and there's absolutely no wind gusts, so there's not going to be much of a wind chill either. And it's going to be a glorious day today. And we'll start out with the low-level water vapor here. Lots of dry air across most of the eastern United States. We have this disturbance here over the Carolinas, producing some clouds and showers around the area, maybe even some thunder. We'll get into that in just a moment. And a Pacific flow across the rest of the continental divide here. This is our subtropical jet stream getting into New Mexico here and parts of Mexico. And this is our polar jet, our western jet here, getting into the west coast. Basically, high pressure is in control here and beautiful weather for the next day or so. We'll get into where all of this is going in just a moment. And the latest surface chart from the Weather Prediction Center this morning. Let's get to the latest one now. Oops. Got that one backed up here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Well, we have this occluded front and cold frontal system here off the coast of Florida here. And it looks like a little bit of a northern trough here extending back into the Carolinas and offshore. And this is where the precipitation is, but high pressure is over the top of Pennsylvania and New Jersey and off the New England coastal waters this morning. And that means that this storm system is heading due east and away from the area. That's not going to affect us, as high pressure is basically in control all the way from, let's say, Labrador, all the way down through the Gulf Coast region. And in the Intermountain West here, here's low pressure along with a nearly stationary frontal boundary here and another system coming in from the Aleutian Islands into the west coast. But basically, things are quite copacetic. Let's take a look at the fronts now. And we'll see this at 9 o'clock, 9Z this morning, and during this afternoon, this storm system providing the frontal boundary stuck over the Carolinas with some rain here now from the Carolina coast all the way into the northern Florida coast. And that slips out just a little bit. It's still providing some wet weather tonight along the immediate southern mid-Atlantic coastline into northern Florida, as that low just sits there and spins as high pressure is in control off the New England coast all the way down to the Gulf Coast region. Intermountain rain and snow across the Colorado Rockies. And high pressure, again, is in control for most of the eastern United States. It's going to take a little while for the system out in the west and central plains to get into the east coast because high pressure is going to be in control. It's going to be dynamic across the Midwest and southern central plains. It's going to be an area of thatched thunderstorms approaching that region during Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon. And that's going to expand eastward and southward as we go through the day on Wednesday and Thursday as the low cuts up through the Great Lakes and the frontal boundary stalls out. Another thatched area of showers and thunderstorms with a surface wave here along the southern branch here in Texas and Oklahoma. And by the time we get into Friday, that's where things get interesting because all this moisture that you see here is going to be lifting up into the northern mid-Atlantic region with rain on Friday morning, late Thursday night, Friday morning. That gets out of here on Saturday, and then another wave comes in up through the Great Lakes and a warm frontal boundary and more rain on Sunday into Monday. Looking for lots of blue skies today and temperatures responding nicely. They'll be in the low to the mid 60s this afternoon, excepting again along the immediate coastlines and shorelines of southern Long Island, the New York City metropolitan area, south of Long Island, Staten Island, and all the coastline here, basically running in the 40s and 50s here, while the interior sections get into the 60s. Tomorrow looks the same way. And the reason is at this time of the year, there is a high sun angle, and the high sun angle and high pressure over the area leads to subsidence and sinking in the atmosphere here, and it does here too along the coast, but there's a difference between the water temperatures and the mixing of the sunshine and the wind flow during the afternoon makes the air mass feel cooler right along all of the South Shore and East Ends of Long Island, northern Connecticut, and the coastlines of New Jersey. That's completely normal at this time of the year. Temperatures on Tuesday again in the 60s away from the water. And again, the same kind of situation on Wednesday. Things even pop up even further as we head into Thursday, and then with the rain coming in on Friday, well, the temperatures again on the mild side in the 60s to around 70 in urban areas here away from the coastal waters, and that influence is changing as we head into Saturday. Temperatures again in the 50s where the cold air is arriving in portions of the Poconos and the Catskills here, and even into northwestern New Jersey, but everybody else still above normal for this time of the year. That's nice. Spring is here. And of course, along with COVID-19, we have Allergy 2021. And it's already getting going here. We are starting to see the budding on the junipers, the elms, and the maples here. So the forecast for today is on the medium side, and my nose and nasal passages are a little stuffed up this morning. Many people's are. And tomorrow it's going to be on the medium to high side. Over the next 5 days, it's going to be high. Yes, medium to high. And that is because of all the blooming that is occurring right now with those trees. Yes, look outside, get outside, go to a tree and look at it. You'll see the budding. And the current spring bloom index anomaly from yesterday, March 20th, 2021, which is the first official full day of the vernal equinox spring. We're basically finding an early start here. Everything in the red here in the southwest and California here, also in the southeast. Yeah, it's a little late here in Florida and a little late in Texas because of the snow, but you know, doesn't look too bad. And from the Phenology Network here, the National Phenology Network, NPN, this is the spring leaf index anomaly for as of yesterday. It's running late here across Oklahoma all the way to the East Coast into the Carolinas here. It's rising above normal here in Missouri and the Midwest, and also across the coastlines from California all the way down into the East Coast of Georgia, excluding Tampa and Florida once again. So spring is on the way, and not only that, but the budding on the trees is certainly making our allergies peak. And then, of course, we're also ready to see those beautiful flowers in New Jersey and New York. We call them cherry blossoms. Yeah. National weather hazards on this Sunday, not too bad, but we still have these red flag warnings for fire danger here in the desert southwest here, New Mexico and Arizona. and portions of southwestern Texas. Over the interior of the Colorados, here we have winter weather advisories in the mountains, also in the Cascades here across Washington and Oregon, but everybody else is pretty damn calm. Getting into the national viewpoint here from the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here for today across the Central Plains here, tomorrow the Central and Southern Plains, and again on Tuesday as well. We'll get into Tuesday right now, which looks like the biggest threat here across Oklahoma and portions of northern Texas, where thunderstorms are going to erupt, and this would be for a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms across central and southern Oklahoma into the northern Texas area. And of course on day 3, which is now going to be centered around the same regions on Tuesday, this would be for the same general area here. Again, general areas of severe thunderstorms not currently forecasted on Tuesday, but there's going to be a negatively tilted trough here, and we know that showers and thunderstorms are going to get going in this area. And we'll cover this in detail in just a moment. From the Climate Prediction Center here, let's take a look at meteorologists that are doing these long-term forecasts here for 6 to 10 day temperatures here, cooler than normal here across the northern and central plains west of the Continental Divide, warmer here along the East Coast, and that's from, let's say, Friday the 26th through the 30th of the month. 8 to 14 day temperatures, again slightly warmer here along the west coast, again cooler across the central plains, and warm along the east coast. Now, precipitation chances, they look quite dry here in areas where there is drought here. There is a lot of drought here in the southern areas here, in the across Texas as well. There's current drought, and wetter than normal precipitation along the east coast. We're going to get into that in just a moment. The 8 to 14 day, which takes us from the 28th of the month until the 3rd or 4th of April here. Wet conditions along the northern mid-Atlantic and New England coast states as well. European model guidance, cyclonic relative vorticity. And this tells us exactly what's going on here. Here's our upper level low across the southeast, heading out under a convergent flow here across the eastern United States. Here comes that storm system into the southern and central plains. And again, because high pressure is ridging over the eastern United States, it has to head up towards the Great Lakes and provides the positive vorticity advection and warm air advection as we head into Wednesday, March 24th. So we're not really going to see too much of a change here except for warm air across the eastern United States. That upper level low opens up across the Great Lakes. Here comes another one diving into the southwest, and that opens up too. Notice all of this high pressure here over the Gulf and over the eastern United States under a confluent and convergent flow here. This upper level low now trending towards the upper Great Lakes. But as we get through the day on Saturday, here comes the relative vorticity maximums. Here comes the cold front through the eastern United States. And here comes that polar disturbance now coming in on Monday on the backside of this present situation, and again under a convergent and confluent flow, and it's a positively tilted trough as well, but this could provide some precipitation around the area again on Sunday and Monday as this storm system heads off the east coast. And, you know, when we look at this pattern now in spring, you know, we got a split flow. The polar vortex is up here, well up in its Arctic region, so everything is positive. There's no blocking here. We have a very active polar and subtropical jet stream, but there's not a lot of connection between the two. You would think so. No. Well, it's that time of the year I need to get my Zyrtec, Allegra, and Flonase action going on. Let's take a look at the European Model Guidance Water Vapor Channel forecast over the next 10 days. Lots of dry air in place here in many areas here in the yellows, blues, and grays with high pressure in control. But look what happens here with that storm system being blocked off the Carolina coast here from heading north It's out into the ocean. That's where all the dry air, that's where all the water vapor channel is going. But as we head into Wednesday, some of that moisture is getting into, well, it's increasing, let's say, over the Delmarva area here. And by the time we get into Wednesday night and Friday, that's where all of this action is going here. As that storm system heads up towards the Great Lakes here, a lot of rain is going to be coming down across the eastern United States as a result of that water vapor channel, and then everything begins to dry out once again as we head into Saturday, Friday, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday. Looks very, very, very dry. And again, all that water vapor channel coming into the East Coast again on Monday morning with more precipitable water values, including the chances of more precipitation. And then everything just dries out. Look at this by 10 days. This is classic. Look at all this dry air in the water vapor channel here. Classic. Excessive rainfall. 7-day precipitation ending Sunday, March 28th. Well, that's where you're going to find the greatest amounts here along the East Coast, south of the Delmarva here into the Gulf Coast regions, and this looks mighty bright to me. Of course, the Intermountain West with the Pacific Jet, but, you know, again, not too shabby. Over the next 48 hours, if we can pull this up here, all the wet weather here is along and offshore the southern mid-Atlantic coast of the Carolinas into Florida as well, and across the Midwest as well. And looking at the European model guidance here from this morning into the next 10 days, national precipitation overview. That rain gets up and along the southern Carolina coast here, but it's being blocked by high pressure over the northern mid-Atlantic, so not much going on. Then we get that storm system coming in for Wednesday, heading up towards the Great Lakes here, and that's a warm front. And here comes the next wave, which is supposed to bring us some precipitation on Friday along the warm frontal boundary and cold frontal boundary. And then another polar cold front comes through. So, not much going on. Going back to the National Weather Service's digital database for today on Sunday, we're heading up towards 13, 14 degrees above normal, and that looks like the trend for the week ahead. In terms of temperatures being above normal, this looks good. Well, there certainly is a big discretional change in the pattern in terms of total precipitation. If we went back, let's go back here towards Friday night. And for the next 10 days, it showed like this: 1.5 to 2 inches of rain across the area over the interior of New Jersey, and even along the coast at about 1 inch. But that has totally changed. Yesterday's model guidance showed this, which was again downgrading itself from where it was. And then again last night, the new model guidance over the next 10 days shows this. Wow. Not that impressive now, is it now, folks? And by the way, the GFS upgrade is not occurring because of COVID and everything that's going on. So, that's the reason, but there's a lot of other reasons too. This is what the GFS forecast for 366 hours in total precipitation across the New Jersey, New York City area as of last night, and across the area this morning up to that time frame. It has definitely changed. Yeah, it's a big change. GFS is off the mark. I wouldn't upgrade this. this is our global model here. This is our American model here. It is a complete disaster and a mess. This is an example of the GFS model and the new version, GFS 16, which has been shut down from being upgraded. Look at this. This is what it's forecasting in precipitation. Up to 366 hours or so, 372 hours. Forecasting like 2.5, 3 inches of rain. Let's look at the GFS 16 here, which has not been upgraded, and it's, again, not going to be upgraded because the National Center of Environmental Prediction is not going to do this. And again, it sees things that other models don't see, like the European Model Guidance, for example. Well, through the next 768 hours, the CFS is actually seeing quite a lot of rainfall here. But again, I know it's going to be wet here, but how wet? Well, that's going to do it for this morning's edition on this Sunday, the 21st of March, 2021. Get out there, enjoy your day. It's spring, gorgeous temperatures. I have allergies, so I'm going to take a nap. We'll be back later.